Once upon a time, next to a large pond, Mama Duck was sitting over 5 round eggs in a nest. She was guarding her little unhatched babies with great care, while 2 of her small children watched on. The little ones were very excited and couldn't help but wonder when the baby ducklings would be born and what they would look like. Would they be fuzzy and yellow, just like them?
Mama, how much longer until they hatch? I can't wait to meet my little brothers and sisters,
said one of the ducklings to Mama Duck. Not long now. A few days later, the young ducklings were playing in the field next to the pond when Mama Duck suddenly cried out, "Come, come, children, I think it's time!" The shells began to crack open, and one by one, 4 precious little ducklings came out of the eggs, each one struggling to get close to their mother. "They're so beautiful," said a proud Mama Duck. The 5th egg, though, was taking a much longer time to hatch. It was a very different-looking egg, gray, not white like the others, and a lot bigger in size. Why is this egg taking so long to hatch?" thought Mama Duck. "What's wrong?" Finally, the 5th egg hatched open, and out came a strange-looking duckling. She was bigger than a normal baby duckling and was white, not yellow, like the other little ones. This duckling didn't look at all like its brothers and sisters. Her quack was deeper sounding than a normal duckling's quack, and she walked differently, too. A couple of days later, Mama Duck took all her children to the pond to swim. There were many other ducklings playing and having fun. When Mama Duck's little children saw that many of their friends were splashing around as well, they tried to go as far away as possible from their new sister, who they thought was big and ugly. Even worse, she was very clumsy and a much slower swimmer than everyone else. When she tried to play along, she couldn't keep up and had a hard time staying afloat. All the other ducklings at the pond began to laugh at how badly the ugly duckling swam.
She doesn't know how to swim,
they said together.
"Mama, can we go home now?"
asked one of the ducklings.
"This is embarrassing. Everyone is laughing at our new sister."
Mama Duck was sad to hear this. "You children should be nice to your sister. She can't help that she's bigger than you are and a little different. And there's nothing wrong with that." Days passed, and whenever Mama Duck's children went to play, they tried to avoid their ugly sister. They wouldn't let her come to the pond with them or play in the field. The ugly duckling was always left behind, sad and alone. One day, sick and tired of everyone making fun of her, the ugly duckling decided to leave the pond and began walking towards the forest. She walked and walked until she had gone a very long way from home. Back by the pond, Mama Duck grew very worried. "Where is your sister?" she asked her little ducklings. "I'm afraid she's gotten lost." Mama Duck searched and searched, but couldn't find her ugly duckling. Mama and all of her ducklings grew very sad. Meanwhile, it was getting dark, and the ugly duckling was a bit frightened, but nevertheless, she continued on.
"I'll find a new home where my brothers, sisters, and the other animals won't make fun of me for being so ugly,"
she thought to herself. After a while, the ugly duckling came to a farm where there lived a horse, a cow, several sheep, a hen, and a dog. She told them about the other ducklings and asked them if she could stay at the farm for a while. "Of course you can," said the hen. "Here on the farm, we're all different, but we play together and get along. Each one of us has something that makes us special. Mr. Horse, for instance, is strong and fast. Mr. Doggy has a great nose and can find anything that gets lost. He once found one of the baby sheep who had wandered off one evening. We were all so scared, but Mr. Doggy found the sheep in 10 minutes. And I like to look after everyone, both my own chicks and all of my other friends. They all call me Grandma here." The ugly duckling quickly made friends with all the animals on the farm, who cared for her and accepted her for who she was. She was so happy at her new home that she decided to stay there for the winter. As the days passed, her new friends were amazed at how much she was changing. Her neck and wings were growing longer, and she wasn't as clumsy anymore. Some weeks later, Mr. Doggy said, "I'm going to go out to explore and play. I know a great pond that I'm sure you'd love. Would you like to come with me?"
Of course,
said the ugly duckling.
"Let's go."
They walked for a while before coming to a pond where many little ducklings were playing. The ugly duckling quickly recognized the pond. It was her home. She saw Mama Duck and her brothers and sisters off in the distance and swam towards them. She was now large and graceful as she swam. She was snow white with shiny feathers and a long, graceful neck. Her wings were large and powerful. She had grown into a beautiful swan and was the most elegant animal on the entire pond. Nobody could believe how much she had changed and how beautiful she had become. She rejoined her family, who were very happy to see her and very sorry that they had ever made fun of her for being ugly. "It's so good to have you home, darling," said Mama Duck, crying with joy at the return of the ugly duckling. "Thank you for taking care of my baby," she said, looking at Mr. Doggy. "You're very welcome. We'll come visit real soon." The ugly duckling was happy, and none of the other ducklings ever made fun of her again. The story of the ugly duckling teaches us that we shouldn't make fun of others for being different. The animals on the farm all accepted the swan for who she was, while the ducklings were embarrassed and rejected her just because she was different. We are all unique, and we all have many different abilities that make us special. Just because someone looks different, talks different, or acts different from us doesn't mean we should tease them. Being different is a part of life, and treating others as we would want to be treated, even if they are indeed different, is an important lesson for all of us to learn as we grow up. Remember, we are all beautiful in our own way.